Hi, welcome to Techstamina. Actually, a warm welcome to Techstamina, being one of the very first people to come down here. My talk to you is about you, myself, and Techstamina. My name is Medhat Sabry. I have been in the software business for like 40 years or a little less now. Actually, enough to get engaged in almost every aspect of the industry, of the software process so far. And my intention, I tell you the truth, is to stay there for as long as it takes till my last breath. Actually, I love what I do, and I do it with passion. About you, I'm going to make one assumption, is that you are like myself, someone indulged in the software process, and I assume this by you coming here. And actually, from the Techstamina point of view, it doesn't matter where you are in the software process or what you're doing in the software process, at which level you are doing what you're doing in the software process, for one simple reason. My design theme behind Techstamina is that it covers the widest possible area of intersection for the interests of the people working on the software. And the reason behind this is that I wanted it actually to be some kind of a round table around which people in this industry can get and talk and probably gel together. So, what is Techstamina? Simply put, and I will elaborate on that in a couple of minutes, Techstamina is my contribution as being an enthusiast pro, as I classify myself. I mean my contribution to this industry to fight two phenomena, two syndromic phenomena actually. Number one is the low morale and boredom that started to gather and started to get more apparent on the people and the teams working in this industry. And probably the reason, there will be more on the reasons, of course, not in this talk but in Techstamina. I mean that started to gather and started to be noticed on the people due to the continued pressure that they are receiving from the market and from the demand and from their companies and organizations, which are in turn, of course, pressed by the market. Secondly, that kind of mediocrity, which came mainly because of the bad leadership practices or the lack of leadership practices in many organizations. So Techstamina is my counterattack, like many other people and many other movements in this industry, on that kind of apathetic atmosphere which does not match at all the nature of our industry, which is based on basically on creativity and innovation. Because at the end, what we have all noticed is that apathetic atmosphere in which everything was degrading, morale of the people is degrading, fulfillment of the industry is degrading, and above all, the quality of the product is degrading too. Some of the industry experts have even gone to calling this the software crisis. I'm personally inclined to the terminology or the term, while some people are debating it. In my opinion, the debate comes from the immediacy of the term. So I would say, just to lessen the effect of this immediacy, let's call it the software challenge. So there is a software challenge, whether we like it or not, and we have all to work on that. So I started my counterattack, or my war, against this apathetic attitude and these phenomena like 2 or 3 years ago, back in 2012, in the companies I was working and still working for. I did that by launching a slogan which I call business as unusual. Actually, I was challenging the old saying of business as usual, which is denoting that nothing is changing. That doesn't work actually in a world where the change is blatantly taking the floor. And under that slogan, I just collected all the practices and the ideas and the concepts that I thought of importance in boosting the performance of the people inside these organizations. And I started lecturing at the leadership level, all the levels and all the types of leadership into the organization, because I thought that is actually the focal point from which you can spread the new spirit into the organization. And I published that, I was lecturing the people, and then I published these lectures in a book which I called The Software Leader's Guide, Your Way to Successfully Lead Software People. Afterwards, I expanded the base and I went to the professionals, the craftsmen, the craftwomen, craft persons, as many people like to call them now, who are doing the job by their hands, and these are the techies into these organizations, who are mainly the developers and the systems engineers. And I lectured them in a program called the PDP, which is for the Professional Developer Program. Then I went to the teams, because I consider the team a different entity, because the team is made of individuals, of course, but you have to look at the team as a separate entity, because the behavior of the team may differ from the behavior of the individual, and this is known in behavioral science. And the two sets of lectures, the new sets of lectures, are now the drafts of my second and third book. And then came Techstamina. Techstamina is actually a distillate of all that. On that site you are watching me through now, or you are reading me on, you will find all my writings, summaries of my books, or maybe other books too, which I see of benefit to you, and videos which I will make to support the idea one way or another, and all material that I see of importance to deliver the message not only to the companies I'm working for, but to the industry too. So it's time to tell you what Techstamina is not. There is a little story here, as I was asked by my reviewers for Techstamina two important questions. The first is Techstamina one of those capacity building programs that companies use to give to their employees? And my answer is actually not. And the reason is it does lack the rigidity to be one of those. These programs are used to be set for generations without change, or for decades maybe without change, or for years at least without change, and Techstamina is much more flexible than this. The second question was, is it one more soft skills camp or university or site that are targeting people of every specialization, of every in every industry, I mean, and my answer was not, for two reasons actually. For one thing, it lacks the softness to be one, and for the second thing, it's not that general. It is targeting people in this industry in particular, specifically for people in the IT and in the software development, let me say. I categorize my work in Techstamina with a little bit of novelty. Let me claim a little bit of novelty and creativity here. I classify it under a term or under a discipline called, I called it actually, firm skills. And as you can see, the term is taken as a metaphor from our mindset in this industry, because we are computer people. We see things as hardware, software and firmware, and lately we started to see things as peopleware too. I personally very much inclined to the peopleware side of this industry, and that's why Techstamina, by the way. But I'm trying to help you burn in, like in firmware, the habits, the programs, the ideas, the concepts, the habits, as I said, that will help you do what you do better, more enjoyably and less stressfully. I wouldn't let this talk end without giving a little hint about the name Techstamina. As you can see, it's a conjoining of two words, technology, tech, and stamina. And let me claim one more time some creativity here. Stamina, as you know it from the dictionary, is a very telling word because it encompasses three powers together. Two and maybe three. The first one is the physical power, the second is the mental power, and the third is probably the moral power. And that's exactly what you need in this industry now, in a world of business as unusual, as I called it. So I just put the two words together and conjoined them and came up with that name. I think it imparts exactly the message behind Techstamina, because we need to harden our bodies, our souls and our minds in order to be able to face the challenge in our undertakings. At that point I will leave you with Techstamina, and before I leave you I would like you to take it a little bit more than just a site. A site is the channel through which I'm going to convey the message and the spirit to you. Let me say that it's not very interactive at the moment on the pages, and the reason is that, well, it's a kind of a personal effort so far. It's the work of a 64 years old developer, which is myself. I just had to read a book or two on how to develop a site and how to deal with graphics and videos and things like that, and I made it myself. So it will be better with time, and I invite you very warmly to go through there and follow up what I'm going to put there for you. And at the moment the interactivity will be through mail. You will write me on the email that you will see on the either on the site, on the contact us section, or on the videos that you will watch. And at the end of all, I wish you good luck with Techstamina, and I ask you to wish Techstamina good luck too. Thank you very much.